I am a recovered alcoholic and a marijuana addict. I'm in my 14th year. Thank God for AA. It works. So I want to tell you a little bit about that, how it worked. I'm going to talk a little bit about all the crazy stuff, just a little bit, and then what happened, how the steps helped, and where we are today. So I grew up in Hamilton. My family were drinkers. There was always a party at Renee and Monique's house. Always, every day, they had to drink or they'd be sick. And we had lots of visitors coming to our house. You know, the police would visit, the ambulance would visit, the sheriff would visit to change the locks. And so we moved a lot. And so there was a lot of poverty and neglect and violence, and you know, it's not good for a kid, right? But I remember seeing all that. I said, I will never drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, take drugs. I said this, and I meant it. And then I got into high school, and I got turned on. The first time I tried marijuana, I was addicted for 30 years. I loved it. It was awesome. It was my solution, right? And it made me cool, because in high school I was this kid, this square kid, and I wasn't athletic, so I couldn't go with them. I didn't have money, so I couldn't be with the preppies. But there was this one group. You know, they had long hair and leather jackets and jean jackets, and they smoked cigarettes at the back of the school, and they were cool. And I joined them. It was easy to join them. So that was my identity for a long time. I'm a stoner, and I don't care, and you can go do that, right? Yeah. And so that worked for me for a long time, and then it didn't work anymore. But I kept going, couldn't stop. You know, stop for a little while, but not stop. And so finally, fast forward, I'm in my second marriage, and my former wife says to me, hey, because I was hiding it, you know, then. She says, hey, you're still doing drugs. I'm like, yeah. She says, how much are you doing it? Oh, just a little bit. How much are you doing it? A lot. She says, do you do it around the kids? No. Do you do it around the kids? Yeah, I do. And she said, okay, Norm, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go into a 12-step program and recover, or we're leaving. And I went, I'm in. And it was a relief for me, because I didn't want to go to no 12-step program. I never wanted to. I didn't even know what it was. I saw them in the movies, you know, they're sitting in a dimly lit room, there's a guy with a ponytail, and everyone's talking about their friggin' problems, you know. And I go, bunch of losers, I don't want to go there. But when she said, you got to go, or else, it was a big relief. So now I go to my first meeting in Montreal, and I'm walking in the back of the church, and you can hear the laughter, right? And you can hear the choir in the basement, and there's the door, and I step in, I'm half out, and I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and then they go, un nouveau, you know, and I got the hugs, right? And I sat down, and they talk about these 12 steps, you know, 12 steps are on the wall there, and they got them on the sheet here, and they're reading the 12 steps, and I'm looking at these 12 steps, and I read them, and I go, yep, I agree with all those. So the first time I did the 12 steps, I did them in 5 minutes, up here in my head. I thought if I agreed with them, they were done. And I went on like that for 2 years. 1 meeting a week, no sponsor, no God. I had a big book, but it was just there for show, you know, to show her, hey, look, I'm doing AA. Where's that? There, this big book. And so then we split, and now I'm alone, and I can do whatever the heck I want. And I slipped twice in 2 weeks. And then I realized, I don't have this, you know. So I said, I got to go to more meetings. I got to find a good sponsor. And so I'm scoping for a sponsor. And there's these two guys. There's one guy is the lawyer dude, and then the other one is the dude from The Big Lebowski. That dude, Mark Spearin, you might know him. Ponytail, glasses, 30 years. And so then I get the courage, to go and ask him to help me. And so he's in the kitchen of the meeting, washing up the dishes. And I'm like, hey, Mark, can you help me do my steps? And he looks at me, he says, yeah. And he had some questions for me. It's like the interview. He says, so why are you here? I go, well, my wife made me come here, but now that I'm here, I kind of like it and I want to do the steps. He says, oh, good. And then he says, what's your problem? I go, my problem? My problem is alcohol and drugs. That's my problem. Like I mixed the wrong amount of alcohol and drugs together and I have a problem. And he says, no. He says, you're the problem. Alcohol and drugs, that's your solution. Everything this guy said made sense, like light bulbs. And he goes, so, Norm, have you ever lost a job, screwed up a relationship, borrowed money, didn't pay it back, got fired? You ever try and stop? I said, yeah, and, well, stop for a little while, but not stop. And then she says, do you think your life's just a little bit unmanageable? I said, all I had to do was look back. Yeah, it's unmanageable, halfway mark. And so he says, well, that's step one. He says, do you think God can help you with this? And I said, well, I'm not sure. And then he asked me again, do you think God can help you with this? And then it occurred to me, I says, you know what, I think he can, because when I was out there trying to kill myself, it had to be God keeping me alive. Not coincidence. He says, good, step two. And then, so now let's ask him. Ask him, page 63. So I read the prayer, and then he gave me my homework. He says, you're going to read this chapter, write a page or two, and get back to me. You got 24 hours, 48 hours. And then you left the kitchen, didn't even say bye. And so now I got a sponsor, and I'm doing homework because I'm afraid of him, right? So I'm doing my homework, and we're meeting and talking about it, and then it's a 4-step, right? And he says, okay, here's how you do your 4-step, and you got 72 hours. So on the weekend, I did my 4th, and I met him, and we did the 5th, and then 6, 7, 8, made the list, And then he says, okay, go and say sorry to those people. Now, maybe never. Do the nows now. And I didn't. And then I saw him 2 weeks later in the parking lot, and he rolls down the window, and he says, so, did you call your ex-wife? Did you call your ex-boss? And I said, I'm gonna. And he said, Norm, this is your life. Get to it. And then he rolled up his window, drove away, didn't even say bye. So then I started saying sorry to people, and it was good. It was good, all of them. And now he says to me, I'm halfway through step 9. He says, Norm, he says, the next meeting you go to, I want you to find the roughest, toughest looking biker with tattoos on his face and sponsor him. I'm like, why would he say that? Why did he say that for? Because I don't like bikers. I don't. And so I'm like, I just do what he says, and he told me how to do it, right? Just tap him on the shoulder, go for coffee, la, la, la. So I'm sitting in a meeting, right? This was a spontaneous meeting, last minute, sit down there. The meeting's starting, I'm like, and I look around and go, great, no bikers. And then this guy comes in late, and he's got a cane and a leather coat, and he's bald, and he's got tattoos on his face, and he sits right there next to me, and he says, hi, my name's Richie. I'm new. And I'm like, you want to go for coffee? And sponsee number 1. How much time have I got? Okay, so sponsorship, man, it works. So I've been helping men one after another, and the big book says that I should because it's really good. And here's what it says. It says, practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Sponsorship, it works when other activities fail. Going to meetings, making coffee, being a greeter, sponsorship works when those other things fail. This is our 12th suggestion. Carry this message to other alcoholics! Exclamation mark. Bill is yelling it. Carry this message to other alcoholics. You, me? You can help when no one else can. No one? The shrinks, the doctors, the wives, the bosses saying, please stop, please stop. You can help when no one else can. And you can secure their confidence when others fail, because we lie to our doctors, right? Remember, they're very ill. And then it says that life will take on a new meaning. And I think I'm at time, but man, sponsorship, it's not hard. You just read the big book with them, right? And call your own sponsor when you don't know what to do. And I'm doing that all the time. Like, what do I do with this guy? And so thank you very much. Norman Sherrod, bonjour.